Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and is it Loop Day all of a sudden? Because I'm back again. It seems, it almost feels like just a moment ago I finished the stream, and well, here we are, back again. My voice, will it survive this afternoon? Probably not. But I do wish to, just before we start, for Delta.app Racing, wish my commentator, Papa, all the well. He was just horrifically ill during that race, so hopefully he's okay and recovers from whatever has happened right there. But I have a new commentator right now, and it's Lawrence. Hello, Lawrence.
Hello, how are we doing?
I'm doing well. My voice isn't doing very well. It hurts. But I've got about 4 points of juice, so we shall fill myself up. But here, for P3 tier, what is going to be a good afternoon, hopefully, and be the first time I've seen it. Now, I have heard from speaking to a few of the drivers, the likes of Mike, which I believe is the Welsh Belgiumer, I think, and of course Jess as well. It is a very, very close tier.
Yes, if anything's to go by the last couple of weeks, it has been very, very tight in qualifying, and even the races have been very thrilling and pretty close. So yeah, hopefully Australia can produce the same kind of racing tonight. Whilst the drivers are quickly doing their outlaps, I feel like we should just quickly run through the drivers' standings and constructors' standings, as I'll quickly do that and let you have a few moments rest, as you've been commentating before. So Welsh Benjamin leads the championship on 29 points, and in second place is Adagio on 23 points. Bonnie Fish is on 21 points. He missed last week, so he's only raced one race. Mike is in 20th. Is in fourth on 20 points. Then in fifth we have Jessica Bull, also on 20 points, and Rydog making it a triple header for the 20 points standings. Joey B is in seventh on 16 points. Then we have I Am Marshall in eighth on 14 points. Whopping Proverb, who unfortunately has missed the last two rounds, is on 12 points. In 10th, we have JR Mason on 7 points. Mikey 4 to 11 is on 7 points. Then in 12th, we have the birthday boy, Gazaman. He has got a whopping 5 points. I hope that isn't his the age he is celebrating today. And in 13th, we have Headfist in the Aston Martin on 5 points. Then 14th, we have Quinniff. Then the last of the point scorers is Matthias in 15th on 3 points. And just to very quickly run through the constructors, Alpine are on 50, Williams are on 37, Red Bull on 27, McLaren on 24, in 5th, Ferrari are on 21, Mercedes are in 6th on 19, 7th is Haas on 12 points, Aston also joint 7th on 12 points, Kick Sauber on 3 points, and Visa, Cash App RBs, whatever you want to call them, have a whopping 0.
I'm going to call it Toro Rosso, as I keep forever messing them up. And it's just noticed, by the way, Mikey just invalidated his lap time. And who is next? It's a car. It's a Red Bull. Is it Jess? It is. I see that every car, all the Red Bulls are the same colour. And because it seems they like running the same livery, because the white bull, it gets very confusing very quickly. But Jess, through the last corner, will be the first to set a lap time. Had a issue in qualifying in Spain, doing a David Coulthard. We are in Australia, of course, so hopefully no David Coultharding for her today. First lap time, 1:16.7. A very great lap time straight away there, and that's pretty close to as she said, she set a 1:16.3 as her fastest time. She's set. Wasn't anywhere near it earlier, and has immediately put it straight up there. So good lap time for them. Quinn in third. Max has gone fourth. We've got Mike as well doing a lap time. Still pole right now, 22,000 for Adigo up to P number 2 as we scroll through to see on board with Marcel up to the line, and let's see where he can go. Puts himself at P7 for the time being. 2 more cars coming through the last 2 corners. Invalidated for the Racing Bulls. Bonnie up to the line, and let's see what he can do.
Oh.
16.6, 96 thousandths ahead.
It's a good lap from Bonnie Fish. That Rydog to the line is slap bang in the midfield in 7th position with a 17.1. So yes, I think a few drivers have still got a bit more in the tank to improve on there.
Yes, indeed. Ivor Mike as well. Down he comes in the other McLaren. And let's see where he can go. Is currently, looking at the standings, like you said, P4. Feels very quick from what I've heard today, but he is currently, as invalidated that last lap time, so he's in the pit lane. So first runs over, I do believe, and it's Bonnie on top from Jess and Adigo. The top three, separated by just over a tenth of a second. And they did say this tier was close. Top two separated by just under a tenth is always great to see, in the top 10 under a second.
Joey B is a good friend of mine. I've raced with him in another league, and he has just very recently transferred over to the wheel. So he's thrown his controller in the bin. Not literally, I hope. But yes, his controller is in the bin, and he has finally got a wheel and pedals. So he's adapted to that very well recently, I must say. So expecting good things from Joey B over the next couple of weeks. Very promising in recent qualifying sessions. Ride Dog coming to the line, getting ready to have another go. That was a cool down lap from the Mercedes driver. So maybe just fueling his car up to get a bit of practice in. I know some drivers do like to fuel their cars up for a few laps to get a bit of to get their eye in if they haven't had the chance to practice. But we're going to see cars now slowly come out of the pits for their second runs.
Yes, well, as you say, that Hockey doing exactly the same strategy. Did a push called Push, it seems, on Purple Sector 1. Sorry, Purple Sector 2 then, as it comes through the correct chicane, which have seen many a car be caught out in the P4 tier. So far, so good for P3. Down he chucks it on the brakes, then gets it hooked up on the inside. This corner is a blink and you miss it right hand up. Very easy again to go on the curb and lose the rear. But again, keeps it nice on the island, pulls it to the outside through the last two corners, and let's see where can Hockey go. And the answers to that will be revealed. I think it's going to be in the top 7. It's not the top 7. It was purple, but as I well know from P4, it means absolutely nothing on this game for some reason, but a little bit glitchy. But it happens.
We're on board with a Hedquist down in 13th in the Aston Martin. He is currently out of VRS and he's still got a whole sector to go. That Aston Martin's going to be crying through sector 3 as he's hemorrhaging qualifying pace in this last sector.
It gets it nice through the last two corners, gently through the last, bring up the power, bring it to the left side, and then straight run up to the line, and let's see, it's going to be 5th position then, so I think he's just got away with that one with the ERS usage there, because the last sector isn't the most demanding, so he's got away with it, but there's more I can sense from that Aston.
Yes, the Aston Martin driver setting a very good, promising lap, as Ivor Mike now is the only driver not to have a time on the board, and I'm sure he will endeavour to end that on this lap, which is just started right now.
Yeah, another good lap time as well, but let's try to see who is on what right now. Jess up 18/100ths of a second according to the telemetry. Again, he's used all of her ERS right now, so doing the exact same thing as
Headfist, I call
yes. Yeah, you could tell I was trying to read that. I was like, I'm going to call him H3. Actually, in the pit, so it's bailed out of that lap time there. So Eva is decided we're not going to do it this time around. It just wants to get better run later on. Joe B through the last corner is invalidated. As they're all stacking up. They're a little bit of a nice little crew right now. It's like a Tesco's car park down here. We've got the Racing Bulls and the Aston Martin, and just getting out of the way of the McLaren. And they do just get out of the way of the McLaren coming through the last corner. And I believe that is, of course, Mike up to the line. Needs to do a good lap time here. Hasn't set one so far. Does set a good lap time. P2.
Here we go. Now the P3 tier is slowly beginning to get bunched up towards the front. We have the top two within half a tenth of each other, and then yes, we've got Jessica and Adagio in the 16.7s, and then a few drivers hovering around the 16.9s as well. So very, very tight qualifying session as it goes.
Benjamin up to first then, a dominating lap time. What a great lap time for the Welsh Benjamin. 16.3, 3 tenths on the rest of the field. I was about to say the top 12 was within half a second, which, well, the top 13 are within 1 second now. But this is incredibly close, apart from the leader, who has done a barnstorming lap time. Bonnie up to line is doing a double lap time. He's got a nice toe from someone. Improves 1:16.4, a 10th off. So the two Alpines running absolutely wonder here.
Yes, Bonnie Fish was getting a nice slipstream from Adagio in the Williams there, as he's just started his lap time. Coming round he's just lost the rear end there, just a bit too excited with the throttle and catching a bit of oversteer, clipping the curb. But he's still up on his lap time at the moment, and now he's progressing down the long back straight, which just seems like it's never ending, but also a good place to dump your ERS.
Yeah, it certainly is. Is it the best overtaking opportunity on the circuit? It's always difficult. That chicane comes at you very quickly, so you've got to make sure if you're doing it, you're committed. I've seen, like I said, many a car having mistakes through that. Because this is now the second time I've commentated on this newer layout. Last time I commentated was on the old, pre-2023 layout, of course. A fun little circuit, I will admit. But through the last corner, here comes Adigo. Up and up by a tiny amount. Made a little mistake in the last sector, but I think he might, again, just get away with it. Up to the line, P2. Ooh. And again, another car. And just look how close this field is. Second and third. Temper was at 6/100ths of a second. Here's Jess on a lap time as well. 44 thousandths down as we look through. Who else is on a lap time? Is it Rydog through the last corner?
I think Rydog is on a lap, yes. He's burning his ERS to the line. Rydog now surely is going to get into the 16s. He does. It's a 16.942. Finds himself in 6th position.
Next car will be Jess then. Again, just under a few thousandths up, but it is so close here in qualifying. A few thousandths. Well, you can put yourself, if you look at P6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, are all separated by under a tenth. Yellow flags out for that's the Mercedes getting out of the way of, I believe, that is the Aston Martin. Here comes Jess then to the line. What can she do? Across the line, P4 then. A 1:16.5. So, a very respectable lap then. As we look to see who is next, I think it's Gwyneth through the last corner. A name I used to have seen from the olden days. Up to the line he goes. Pole position, 16.3. Have at it, he says.
A great lap from Sir Gwyneth. There he is. He's had a very quiet opening 2 rounds. Now Joey B is coming to the line as well, but he only improves by 53 thousandths of a second. That is not the improvement he was looking for. He was almost 4 tenths up as well, so he could have been definitely threatening the top 5 with that lap time. But Sir Gwyneth laying the marker down to the rest of the field with an absolutely stonking lap out of nowhere, and a welcome return to form for him.
Yeah, most certainly is, and he does everything he needs to do right there. I think that is the first of the runs the second runs. I don't know if anyone else on a lap time. Well, it's not going to be Joey B, who's invalidated his time. Max across the line, 5 tenths up, but he's just beginning his out lap. My apologies for turn number 1 and 2. So we'll run on board then with the Minardi. We'll call it Minardi for now. As it used to be back in the day. Yellow flags as another car gets out of the way. Tricky corner here where, of course, Martin Brundle and, of course, Fernando Alonso had that massive accident in 96 and 2016 respectively. So, I mean, we're coming on 2026, so, big accidents always have a 6 in it, and we know how these cars are getting off the start line, so I'm not saying there might be trouble, but there might be trouble. But here we are then, on board with Max, of course, who I believe was going to commentate with me for the Realistic Performance League, but due to PC to PS5 differences, due to the fact you can't actually be in the same party, which is a slight oversight on the PlayStation's behalf, I believe, but nonetheless, Max, very good Sector 2 right now on my end, but as we know, it's a little bit wide there. He got just about caught it up. He was on the grass coming into the fourth last corner, into the second last corner he goes, plants it on the exit, and up to the line he goes then. So, currently P11, and all he needs to do is find a tenth of a second, he'll be right up there. He finds, he finds an opposite of a tenth of a second, he lost a tenth of a second. So does not find any time right there, but like you say, this is incredibly close.
Yes, the drivers are slowly will be making their way out of the pits to start their final laps in a few moments, as the majority of the grid are still sat in their pit boxes. I can see Quinneth having his tyre covers removed, as he will be one of the first big hitters to leave the pits. Bonnie Fish is currently on a lap in the Alpine, and he is 2 tenths up.
Yeah, as well, Matthias on our lap time, so a few drivers on laps. Matthias a tenth up on his. I believe Bonnie is just ahead of him on circuit, and through the last couple of corners he comes. So, Alpine driver, and of course the Alpine, the only team on the grid, I think, without a special livery in this game. So at least I know which Alpine is an Alpine. Through he comes then, last corner, nice up to the line. Let's see, currently sits himself P4. Can he get himself up into P number 1? Yes, he can then.
Yes.
3 tenths of a second, 15.9, as someone has just gone across the pit lane exit line, coming out of the pits. Now, I do believe they'll get away with that. I don't think we have a rule on doing that coming out the pit lane, but I think that might have been Jess. Indeed, it was crossing the pit lane exit line down there, but I think they'll get away with it.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if what the rules are or any punishments like that, but I'd imagine in the qualifying session you'll probably get away with it if you don't impede anybody.
Yeah, most certainly. I don't think we'll. Just scrolling through to see who is on a lap time. Matthias was on 1. He's currently P12, 1 second off the pace, but I tell you, 1 second separating the top 12. Well, top 11, should I say. Well, you're pretty much the top 12. You might as well, because it's just over a second. It's incredible. And of course, a little bit of scragglers. Mason, my dear old friend who, of course, remember, won a race many seasons ago. Was really sad I didn't commentate because I was extremely ill that one day he won a race. But here he is, down towards turn number 1 then. Of course, father to, of course, Colin, who I presume will be somewhere in the chat hovering around. Let's see what he can do then. Down he comes, chucks it into the corner. Nice and slow through there, but absolutely perfect. Let's see what the sector 1 time is. This corner here, very easy to have a mistake and hit the wall on the outside, isn't it?
It certainly is. You don't want to be making too much contact with the wall around here, because that will almost certainly lose you time. As just riding on board with a head fist, I think he will be one of the first. Oh, he's had a massive tank slapper out of the chicanes, and he's invalidated. I think that's his qualifying done.
Yeah, I think might be right there. I think Quinn's invalidated his lap time as well, so Quinn's not going to improve. The Red Bull behind, I believe that is Jess, is on a lap time. That's not Jess, that's the other Red Bull. So like I say, it's confusing. Which is a Red Bull and which is an AlphaTauri? Who knows? But Jess is up. I'll say that much so, and I believe Ivor up as well behind. So we're just keeping an eye out on who is doing what on the grid. But I think it's these 2 right now who are the most up for the time being. Then Jess through the last corner. Well, I said Ivor was up. He's not now because he's just gone straight on in the background. And that is his lap over. Gets out of the way of the Ferrari. So what about Jess then? Through the last corner. No one really gaining much time on this last lap. The top 5 stays what it is. What about Jess? Can she improve? Up to P4 then. So, a great lap time from her. Can anyone make that a difference? Rydog won't because he's invalidated. Ivor
Joe
won't
B
because,
second.
Yeah, Joe B's gone up to second, then right at the death. And what a lap time from the Ferrari, but it's Bonnie with a barnstormer.
Yes, Bonnie Fish with an absolutely stonking lap time. A brilliant lap in the Alpine. He looked like he was a class ahead of everybody else, but qualifying pace is one thing. Race pace is certainly another. we've seen plenty of people who are time trial merchants, but when it comes to race pace, they have a lot to be desired, unfortunately. But Bonnie Fish does lead the way in qualifying. I was on board. I noticed Ian Marshall also improved on his last lap there. I don't think there was too many improvements on those last attempts there, but the three to note was Marshall, Jess, and Joey B.
Yeah, what incredible then. And like I said, the top 6 under half a second. Top 12 within 1 second. And like I said, 3 at the back there didn't get the best lap times. I think they might have made mistakes. But these things happen. And we'll just go through, of course, the official rundown then, as we get it right now for the next 20 seconds. Bonnie on pole, from Joe on the front row, Quinn and the Welsh Benjamin, Jess and Adigo, Mikey and Rydog, H3, as I'm now forever calling him, Ivor in 10th, Marcel in 11th, Max in 12th, Matthias in 13th, Mason 14th, and Hockey in 15th position. So, that is your grid. Don't forget, of course, we will be getting a restart for anyone serving their penalties, etc. Did anyone, do you know, had a engine or gearbox penalty today?
I know there's a few. I know Joey B has definitely got a gearbox penalty, because I know he's having 5 places taken off him from what he was telling me earlier. I did a practice session with him about 2:30 this afternoon, so he was just having a few practice laps in qualifying, and I must say he got nowhere near that 16.2, which he just set now. Like 16.7 I think was the best I see him do, so he's found half a second, so he'll be delighted with that. I'll tell you now, he'll be grinning like a Cheshire cat behind that monitor.
Yes, most certainly I think he will do. So obviously you are the maiden commentator here. Who do you think's the money on for this race?
Well, going after the first week, I think Bonnie Fish in the pole position is definitely one to be reckoned with here. Jess had a much better week around Austria last week as well. You can never rule Jess out. She's improving loads very recently, so she's really one to watch in this tier as well. We've also got Adagio. He's a Williams driver who has also caught my eye. Let me just grab my paperwork. Yeah, Adagio, and then Welsh Benjamin. He's had a very steady first few races as well. He is 6 points clear in the championship. Also, I mean, there's so many potential people to keep an eye on here. Like, it could be like 10 people who could come out on top here. But yes, definitely the drivers I just mentioned there, and also Ivor Brim Mike as well in the McLaren. I think we've also got to keep a very close eye on him too.
Yes, most certainly. And I think whilst we're just having the little bit of, like we said, the little break for a few moments, I think, Lawrence, we can do all the sponsorships.
Yeah, let me just get things quickly loaded on my end, and I'll
putting
quickly.
You on the spot.
Yeah, I will do it. I know you're very tired after doing one race already, so I will do all the labour work. Yeah, you're old.
Yeah,
I am 36. I definitely feel it. Have I beat you?
Yes, by 10 years.
Yeah, how dare you? Say you're
these
old.
Whippersnappers, they might say.
Would help if I was on the right screen. Okay, sorry, do bear with me, and I'll get the sponsorships up and ready. Actually, I know a better way to get to it.
We'll find it eventually. Don't worry.
Yeah, I found it.
There
I found
we
it.
go.
Right, yeah, so here we go. Right, so here at Delta.app One Hub, we do have some sponsors and partners who proudly sponsor our league, and it's a great pleasure to have them on board with us. First of all, Delta.app. This is for over 18s only. All your investments in one app. Make smarter decisions like the top investors. track your journey to success with Delta. If you use the command exclamation mark and Delta in the Twitch chat, it will take you. It will give you a link, and it will take you to the relevant mobile store to download the app. Yes, please do check out Delta.app. Next up, we have Next Level Racing. They provide some amazing prizes for the league each season. I think it's still to be confirmed for this season, so I shan't promise anything. But I won a very nice racing rig a couple of seasons ago, and proudly sat in it now as I transitioned from controller to wheel since I won that. So yes, please do check out Next Level Racing. They have some top quality products. Next up, we have Sim Racing Setups. They provide a professional setup bundle for F1 2025 created by the top esports drivers. They offer dry, intermediates and wet setups. There are also 2 types of dry setups, which are safe and esports. They also provide strategy tips and a track map on when to use ERS during qualifying. They sponsor the league by providing vouchers for the weekly Driver of the Day winners and the Driver of the Season winners. And also, as you're a OneHub member, if you go to their website, you can get 5% off their setups. And next up, Pure Sim Gear. They provide awesome racing socks and gloves for the league. Please do go check out their website. If you, when you go to check out in your cart, you will have a chance to enter a code. If you type in OHR10P, you will get 10% off their racing socks and gloves. Then we have Vespertine. They've been partnered up with Delta.app OneHub for a few years now. They provide some great merchandise for us. T-shirts. I think the last time I saw was like coffee mugs and all sorts. Please do go check them out. It is top quality merchandise they provide for us too. Then finally, SimGrid. It wouldn't be possible. Sorry if you can hear my daughter screaming in the background. I'll start again. SimGrid. Racing would not be possible without them. Definitely makes life so much easier. Signing up to the league, checking out of races, updating stand-ins, updating, just about everything. So a massive thank you to SimGrid there. I believe that is everything I've covered.
I believe most certainly is so. I think we should be getting underway in a few moments' time here in Down Under in Australia. Like I said earlier, Australia first hosting a race at Albert Park in the 1950s. Of course, it staying pretty much layout, just it was going the other way round. But of course, that was non-championship, of course. Hosting F1 in 1996, taking over from Adelaide, which was hosting up from 1986 to, of course, 1995. A circuit which has had very fond memories of much drama. Of course, like I said earlier, Alonso and Brundle having their big mistakes, of course. Last year, we saw Piastri throw away a P2, or potentially a P1 as well. The circuit is always quite exciting, of course. It does start quite early. I think it's 5 a.m. This season. It's just over a week's time, of course, before we get the Formula 1 season underway, which, of course, will also be on this game, of course, if I remember correctly, because 26 is on 25. I still don't know how that's going to work, but we shall find out.
Yeah, I have nightmares of how they're going to integrate 26 onto 25. Yeah. It's going to be very interesting. Just a quick recap of the circuit as the game gets loaded up. Australia, we have 14 corners. We have 9 to the right, 5 to the left. Most notably, this is one of the few tracks where we have 3 DRS zones to play with around here. So it's going to be fast and furious for the grid once we get started. DRS is activated after 1 lap. So, yes, very important to stay within a second of the car ahead. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself losing a hell of a lot of time around here.
Isn't it 4 DRS zones around here? Is it not? Or have I made one up?
I'm pretty certain.
I'm pretty certain it was 4 because it's obviously down the main straight. It's out of turn 1. It's the main the big long straight, the back straight, and then it's that little straight afterwards. Unless they got rid of it, but I'm pretty certain it is still.
No, it's 4. No, I think you are right. 4. Yeah, no, it's my bad. That's
think it's the only circuit that's got 4, which it's a remarkable amount of DRS zones. I used to remember Saudi used to have a lot more DRS zones, but I think they removed some of them due to safety issues, because that track is a little bit scary to drive. Well, to be fair, the last time I raced N1 Hub, which was my comeback after a wee hiatus, I managed to get P2 in that race. And yeah, we'll just say it went very downhill afterwards, because I died at every other race I did. But one-hit wonder, as they always say. Although I didn't win, so I can't really say I am John Lacey or any of those drivers at one run race. But of course, in a few moments' time, we shall be getting underway. Like I said, it would be good on this game if we had the countdown to see what we had. Or it would also be fun, though I know it's difficult, if we had the official rundown like you do on the Grand Prix stuff.
Yep, I think that's also just the camera aiming into the pits is pretty lame. Yes. I would like like you said, the telemetry just on the grid, like have a good rundown. And but for the insight I can give you, is the only thing I can see is Sir Quinnif looks like he will be starting on the hard tyres. I can't have a nose in anyone else's pit box, unfortunately.
Also, their tyres are in the ground.
Yes, they're halfway in the ground. I'm quite sure Quinn will not want to deploy that tactic.
No, I think that's called flat spotted and a half. Those tyres, but yes, hards for him. That's certain. So he'll be starting at the front of the grid, or very near the front of the grid, for what is it 26? Yeah, 26 laps around Australia. It is 3 p.m. in time. It is currently 7:09 currently in 10 past 5. There we go. I'll get it out eventually. Time is all become distorted. The crowd is cheering, and in a few moments' time, I believe we'll be underway. I think, of course, they will normally say ready up in the tier, but as I'm not in the tier chat, I can't exactly say. So it's all about guessing.
Jess literally said about 10 seconds ago to ready up, so
there we go.
We're about to get underway.
Here for Australian. Here we are then. 5 red lights. Look but never stare, because down under in Australia, we are underway, and who gets a good start? It's Bonnie gets a good start, and the McLaren there spinning around in the middle of the pack, and it's Quinn with a big mistake there. He lit up the rears, but it's an Alpine 1-2, and there's another car. Who is that off the road? Is that Jess? Has gone flying off at turn number 1, I believe. Or was that Mason down there? As there's carnage, there's front wings going everywhere, but all sorts of carnage. Adigo involved in issues as well. Quinnif involved in issues as well, but carnage at the start, but it's Alpine leading 1 and 2. Joe in third, Rydog fourth, H3, Mikey, Hockey, and Jess has got trouble as she's dropping down the field. Is there damage on that car? Looks like definitely maybe diffuser damage, but certainly got a wallop up the rear.
Yes, I was on board with Jess. She got squeezed up against the wall by Matthias. I don't think she'd be too happy with that ambitious overtake there, going side by side through that very tricky, fast right-hander. So there are quite a few gainers on the position changes, but not as many losers. Jess, unfortunately, down 6 positions on the race start. Max has only lost 1 position. Sir Quinnif is down 12 positions, and Adagio right at the back has lost 10 positions. Only 3 drivers keeping their current positions, which are Mason, Mikey and Bonnie Fish. And Bonnie Fish still leads the way, so it's an Alpine 1-2, an absolutely superb start from the Alpine team here, as Joey B is just a little bit out of touch with the 2 cars ahead, 2 seconds behind, and he's going to be bringing along Hegvist with him in the Aston Martin. Rydog just trying to stay within the DRS zone of Hegvist ahead. He's just outside it at the moment.
Yeah, Marcel, meanwhile, at the back of the grid, taking a new front wing, so there was another car involved in issues. I thought that was the debris I saw coming out of turn 2. But what a horrific start for Quinn. And if it could have gone any worse, I don't think you could get any worse than that off the start. And he just seemed to have lit the rears up, dropped it, and he seemed, I think it was contact with the Welsh Benjamin then down off the start line that finished him off. I don't think Benjamin had anything he could do there, because the rears, it seemed to just dropped it off the line.
Yes, not Quinn's finest hour, and here in one hub. So yes, it's going to be a recovery race for Sir Gwyneth down in 13th. Lucky for some or unlucky for some, he's got a lot of work to do this afternoon.
Yeah, most certainly. Joe B and H3 closing up with DRS, of course, enabled. H3, fast lap of this race, 1:20.3. First opportunity down in towards turn number 2. And that's Tiago also flying down the back, of course, up to that issue. But I think right now, status quo for the few drivers as Ivor might get ahead of the Mercedes Rydog. Bit of a lock up there from one of them, but they all get away with it so far. So Rydog down in 7th, Matthias in 8th, Hockey 9th, Jess now down to 10th. Further down the field, cars going absolutely everywhere. And that is Adigo going wide and has kept the car going in a straight line. He's lost positions to Mason and Gwyneth, who's starting to make a slow recovery after what is a devastating start to this race. And the first opportunity will be on Mason to the outside there, and it should be a pretty standard manoeuvre around the outside. You presume we're going to see the car diving up and round the outside. Adigo there as well, and Mason there kind of caught, napping a little bit right there. Had to back out of it. Of course, I don't think he wanted to get in the way of Gwyneth, and he loses another position as well. And contact, and there's Max into the side of Mason, and I think it could go worse right there for Mason. It certainly nearly did. A wallop from the side, but he gets away with, I presume, no damage as well. Up front, 2 Alpines. 1 and 2 yet again, of course, now 2.2 seconds ahead of Joe and H3. And then, of course, that big gaggle of cars for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th position. And then 11th, 12th, a little bit further back after those issues on the first lap. So, as we are on lap number 4, first pit stops presumably between laps 6 and 9 for those medium compound tyres. And around about lap 13 to 14 from what it looked like in the P4 tier. Of course, 6 laps as all these mediums can really do before they start to degrade extremely quickly. As here comes H3 to the inside of the Ferrari. Gets the job done there. Nice and easy Ferrari. I don't think wanted to put too much of a fight right there, or could do much of a fight at the time being. But everything so far, apart from the first lap, cooling off a tiny bit.
Yeah, Joey B isn't one to get in a scrap. Maybe just there's a sort of a mutual agreement here. We do have yellow flags. That is Gwyneth around. Maybe he's just lost it. He's had an awful start to this race.
But just it there?
Not too sure. But going back to what I was saying about Joe, maybe he's just got like a mutual agreement with a Hedvist here in the Aston Martin. Maybe they're going to work together to try and salvage this 2.5 second gap to the 2 Alpines ahead, because the Alpines are looking to run and hide here.
Yeah, they certainly are, and those two will probably work together quite well as well, of course. Benjamin, top of the standings. Bonnie currently in P3 in the standings, and these two, of course, 29 points and 21 points. Of course, Bonnie missing the last race, but won the first race. Benjamin hasn't won a race so far this season, but a consistency of a 2nd and a 4th is doing what he needs to do so far. And he's got that gap open. Like I said, 3rd and 4th together as well. And then you've got a bit of a gap right now. 5th, starting to pull away, and he's starting to push up towards the Ferrari here. So, I'll tell you what, Joe, he might want to be working together, but he might be getting held up a little bit right now, I feel, because these cars are all closing.
Yeah, the gaggle behind is slowly beginning to reel in Hedvist and Joe, and I'm sure Joe will be alert to the threat behind. So yes, he's actually going to box early. I was thinking maybe he's going to look at doing an undercut here so he doesn't get involved with that train and lose too much time. A sensible decision, I think that is, as he comes into the pits, and yes, he is onto the hard tyres. So now we have 10 cars on track on the medium tyres and 5 on the hard tyres. Hockenheim in 8th position is the highest in that of the hard tyre runners at the moment.
Yeah, most certainly is. As we just have a little look then, like I said, you got that big battle starting to form right now for Mikey, Ivor, Rydog, all in the DRS train. And the DRS train, we know around this game, very powerful, very difficult to make a manoeuvre when everyone's got the DRS. So It's all about right now trying to see if you've got a gap to the cars ahead. And it just seems everyone's got DRS's Matthias looking for the outside line on the Mercedes. Can't quite do it there. He'll have another stab at it down the straight, but they've all got DRS right now. So like I said earlier, once you've got DRS and everyone's got DRS, it kind of proves quite difficult, but it's all about strategy right now. And of course, a lot of these drivers here on the mediums, we know 6 laps is around about the limit before these tyres start to degrade. And you got to wonder, is anyone going to try and dive into cover? That's over very wide on the grass lap. He gets away with it. I think they're all staying out for now. I think actually you got the Red Bull of Jessin, so she's gone for the undercut. In also has come H3 then, so he's going to cover off the Ferrari, but we know how quick the Ferrari is, but he's got a bit of a car in front of him around the outside of Max for the last corner up to the start line. And he will be very close down here. We'll have a double dose of DRS, so there is an opportunity if he gets a good exit here, which he has, but I think that gap might just be a little too big, or is it? Inside line he goes, thinks better of it.
Yeah, I think that would have been a very late lunge if he was going to go for the move there. Maybe just sensibly hold him back. But his Joe's ERS is looking very healthy. So is Headfist, to be fair. But now it's status quo as it was before. Maybe just to mutually work together to build up a gap. Matthias and Rydog are the first track limit offenders today. As Rydog,
Joe's going to do it round the outside. It's going to be brave round the outside. No, thinks better of it again. It's an audacious attempt there alongside. And I think that's kind of held them up. They're holding each other up a little bit here. Because, let's be fair here, I think Joe's got a bit more pace right now. It seems so because he's attacking a lot more with the DRS. As in comes the gaggle of cars there. It's Mikey and Ivor in the pit lane. And let's see where these two are going to come out. They should be behind. Out comes Matthias, a 3-second time penalty. This is going to be pretty close, actually, with Jess, I think, actually, down the straight as the Ferrari behind. Out they come then, down the start line. And let's see, where are they going to be? Just behind one. And where is the other? I think they're all actually ahead then. So, Jess there, down in 13th, of course, with that incident earlier on. But it is the Ferrari and the Aston Martin working together, as good friends should. But will they be Bob the Buildering or Bob the Destructoring? Well, that's the question, because they are a little bit of contact so far this race. They've been very close, especially down here. And this is the opportunity that you can get an overtake done. But let's just see. And the gap is what? It's, currently, let's get the gap up 0.6 of a second. So won't be making a move down here on the third of the 4 DRS straights. But you just kind of want to bide your time. We're on that 8 of 29, a long race to go. And of course, you can just see, of course, the difference between the P3 and Forte. There's a little bit more patience, a little bit more tactitious play, you might say, of knowing exactly when to attack, when it's not right to attack. And up front, the two Alpines still dominating.
Yep, Bonnie Fish has built out a nice 2.8 second gap to Welsh Benjamin behind now. So maybe Benjamin will be thinking about his first pit stop in the back of his mind. Will not want Bonnie Fish to get in ahead of him because he will just lose even more time. I wonder if they are sat in the party.
Sorry, come over. That was a little bit careless there, I have to say, from Max. He's just swiped Jess into the wall. I don't know if he didn't see the Red Bull on the outside, but he just pulled across in the straight. Was he getting out of the way of trying to give space to the Sauber coming out the pit lane? I don't know, but there was contact and trouble.
Jess has damage.
Yeah.
She's missing her front right end plate, unfortunately.
It was a heavy whack, I will say, down the straight. I was just cut to, as I say, they were getting a bit close and a little bit then more close. So I think potentially Max might take a little bit of trouble for that one. That was definitely alongside, front to front, and just pulled across. And now he's down in there behind Quinn, who, like we said, is having a torrid afternoon so far.
Yeah, Quinn's just down and out really at the moment. He's got a lot of work to do. His 8-lap all hards are going to be, well, they're going to start hurting within the next 5 laps or so, as Max has a little excursion onto the gravel just behind Sir Gwyneth and losing a bit more time to him there, as we have another gaggle of cars in the pits. We have Adagio and Rydog, and Bonnie Fish has just come out and rejoined the track. He is in third position, and he has got a small gap of 9.4 seconds to Hockenheim ahead.
Yep, he has, and he's got the bit between his teeth because behind him, H3, but H3, of course, has used pretty much all of his ERS compared to Bonnie, who has used not a lot of it. But if there's a chance here, it's going to become very quickly, and his only opportunity now, H3, is getting the DRS down this straight and trying to blast through, but you can just see already the gap, 6-7 tenths of a second, so it's already opened up, and the Ferrari behind lurking, and like I said earlier, that other Aston Martin not too far away either. So these three here are kind of going to be working together a little bit. Indeed, they seem to be holding station. He's
Joe's got a great drive here.
Yeah, he has. I don't think you're going to have a lunge from this far back. No. Thinks better of it.
No, but there's the race net lead there, just there, as Mikey has a bit of a tank slapper in sixth position, keeping hold of the car, and is he within DRS? I think he was just slightly outside of it, annoyingly to him. You don't want to lose DRS around here. Yes, he does not have DRS.
I tell you what, Benjamin's going to be in trouble there. He's going to come out behind all of these, isn't he? Yeah, he has. Look, he's just going to be ahead of the McLaren, I think, though. But he's going to be... I think the McLaren's going to get him a bad exit here. And here comes the McLaren of Mike with DRS as well. And this has gone catastrophically bad right now for Benjamin. On the inside goes the McLaren. Late braking manoeuvre. Alpine just about holds the outside line. And they'll fight for everything it's worth. And he's just about got it right now. But with a double dose of DRS in a few moments' time... This is not what the Welsh Benjamin wanted, and it's his fellow Welshman right behind him, who's kind of, I think he's just dropped back a little bit, so he might be under case there. Jess behind, but of course with the front wing damage for her, it's going to be a difficult afternoon, but that strategy, whatever it was, if he's gone long, and he's got, 3, 4, 5 lap newer tyres in some of them, it's track position is king, though.
Yeah. Track position is king, and now the time penalties are beginning to roll in over the last few seconds, I've noticed, and that will be vital towards the end of the race. But I will worry about that around lap 26 when we get a fair idea of how this race is going to unfold. But Hockenheim still leads the way. He is yet to pit on the hard tyres, but he's doing a very sound job at the moment, as Mikey is the latest driver to get a track limits infringement to the relief of the drivers around him. As you said, Welsh Benjamin has really been he's been caught short really here by the cars undercutting, and I'm not sure if he's got the pace to catch up, as they're all using DRS to work together ahead.
Yeah, most certainly. Max has just come in the pit lane, so he's the next stopper in this race. He's down the back of the grid, whilst his teammate up front, like I said, though, yet to stop this afternoon, but he is doing as best as a job as he can do right now, and we think it is between lap 12 and 14 for the hard compound tyres to go. We've got a big gaggle of cars here, still battling on. It is Jess under attack from Matthias then, and of course, Jess is going to be kind of a sitting bottle in this one, unfortunately, with the damage she's got. He's holding on, though, pretty well to the back of Mike and Benjamin. I mean, you've got to think it's only been a matter of time before these two start to really attack, and you can just see getting closer as Hockney has come into the pit lane from the lead of this race. Will rejoin, I think, just behind Lee's gaggle of cars, but ahead of Adigo behind. Down the straight we go. Think about a move down towards turn number 1. Salbert can't quite do it right there. It's difficult to do down in towards turn 1 unless you've got a very good overspeed. Just like here, Rydog has an overspeed, and up the inside they go. Up the inside as they get the car stopped. And again, this is always a difficult corner to go side by side in. And just get shoved a little bit out of the way. And again, it's all, you've got to have 2 to tango, and well, you can definitely say Matthias was not willing to have that one go around the outside.
No, Matthias putting up best of fight he could there against Rydog, and he comes out on top on this occasion. I do feel bad for Jess, who is missing her front right end plate and is a bit of a sitting duck at the moment. just maybe praying for a safety car or something, just so she doesn't lose all that time in the pits. I would be tempted to change the front wing on that Red Bull if that was me. Yeah. I'm sure that is really hurting through some of the high-speed corners.
Yeah, of course, the incident of the first lap, of course, squeezed up. I didn't see it, but I definitely saw a car fly off the road down towards turn number 1. I don't know, of course, if they had got damage from that, of the underside. I don't know what if we were running sim damage, as here comes Rydog in a few moments. So has got DRS, but so is Jess. But what's the damage situation? Are we on sim or standard?
I think it's just standard damage around here. I mean, simulation damage, probably. We'd have seen quite a few DNFs by now.
Yes, I think we used to run sim. I know a lot of leagues did. I think RunHub did, but that was a long time ago. I was racing, so it might have changed in the in-between seasons. But up front, Bonnie, 2.5 seconds from the 2 Aston Martins, which is a change of fortune from what I saw in the P4 tier, where they had issues and were last and second last, but currently second and third. No, hopefully I haven't just put the almighty curse on those two. Benjamin, and he's starting to get the gap up a little bit now. He's got 8 tenths behind to Mike, as Jess has finally been overtaken by Rydog for 8th and 9th. As the gap's starting to form further down the field. So as we come to the midway point of this race, the official order so far: Bonnie, H3, Mikey, Joe, Benjamin, and I've got Mike, Matthias, Rydog, Jess, had to go Hockney, Mason Senior, Sir Gwyneth, and Max and Marcel in 13th position so far. DRS train, that's going to be the talking point so far in this race, because definitely seems there is one going on. And you've got to wonder here, Lawrence, is as well as Benjamin got much pace, because he's not really pulling away.
No, he's not pulling away from Mike behind. The gap has slightly come down to Joe ahead. But the one thing I was pondering just a second ago was we saw a very powerful undercut after the first stops by Joe and Headfist. Now, if they're going to start thinking about pitting maybe in the next 2 laps, I would say, and if Bonnie extends, he's on 5-lap-old hard tyres at the moment. If they get the undercut again, Headfist especially will have a great opportunity to take the lead in this race, and even Joey B could potentially get up to second too. So the undercut is going to be, especially on these second stops, is going to be king.
Yeah, most certainly is. I think it's the undercut power, it's about 3 seconds. I think nearly a lap, depending on how these tyres go. Because these tyres, it's like the 2012 F1 tyres, like Kimi Raikkonen in China many seasons ago. When they hit the cliff, you drop off very quickly. And I don't really like the tyres that do that, personally. I prefer them that are grippy and degrade very slowly. But these ones, of course, in the 50% race, degrade very quickly. Joe just got a 3-second time penalty, exceeding track limits down in towards turn number 1. I was running board as Mason has just got past Jess, but Jess is coming into the pit lane to get that new nose, like you said. And what tyres do you have to go on right now? Another set of hards, so that'll go to the end of the race. I think it'll be close. Oh dear.
I'm sorry. I'm not too sure what's happened there. It says I have disconnected.
Well, luckily, I have an invitation coming your way. Get back in. You're not allowed to leave.
I'm just going to quickly reboot my game. That is the first time I've ever disconnected from any kind of lobby on Formula 125. So.
Well, always lucky that I'm commentating and streaming, because otherwise that would have been a bit of an awkward situation. So we'll keep the action going whilst you are resetting and you'll be able to get back in the session. Joey B, whilst Benjamin now really right up at the back, is actually in comes. You mentioned earlier, Lawrence, that we're going to start seeing some undercuts soon. In the pit has come already 10 laps on those hard compound tyres, and we guess another set of hards coming his way. Yep, another set of hards. So straight in the pit lane, and a lot of penalties right now. We've got a quick rundown. Mikey 3, Ivor 3, 6 for Matthias, Rydog on 3, 3 for Hockney, Mason and Joe, and 3 for Gwyneth as well. As in the pits also comes Marcel to get rid of those hards for another set of brand new spanking, almost mediums. And a long stop. Oh, there we go. Teleports out on their way up front. Bonnie, 4.7 seconds. Has got around about 2-3 laps to work with where he wants to stop or not. Big gainer in this race so far. It's H3 up 7 positions, up 5 for Mike, up 6 for Matthias. Big loser in this race, Quinn and Jess, of course, having issues on the first laps, and of course that incident with Max earlier on as well for Jess, which has scuppered that one. We're going to see anyone try and take the undercut strategy from the top two. No. What about third? Comes in the pit lane then. So in comes the Aston Martin, and this is now going to trigger pretty much second to come in. It'll trigger first to come in the pit lane as well. And this will be, all of a sudden, the chain reaction for everyone to come in the pits. As Lawrence, have you got back in the session yet?
I've literally just loaded up. Just currently sat on a blank screen at the moment, but here we go. I am back in. There we go.
Hooray. So you get to see all the lovely action again instead of listening to Radio Dragon Live as well. I think at BBC still do 5 Live. I don't know. I haven't watched. I don't know. Actually, they might do. Jess has gone first lap of this race, so she has got pace. It's just rotten luck, and maybe I am her commentator's curse. It seems I did say I was going to curse her, and it's not gone well. I will say that one. Because if it could go worse, it's not gone the way it wanted to. Benjamin up in third position, but he's got very close behind here. The Sauber, who's teleporting a little bit, I thought was about to have it. Oh, that was a lag spike. That scared me. And
yes.
I've got away with that one.
I currently have a visual glitch at the moment. Who was it? Where Mikey doesn't have a front wing whatsoever. So he's doing excellently to...
he has got one, don't worry.
Yeah. But yeah, like his complete front nose is missing. Like from where his pedals are, he's got absolutely nothing in front of him. So
I suppose it technically means you would have a really quick car in a straight line apparently, because that's how this game works. If you lose the front wing, you actually have high top speed. It used to be a strategy a few circuits. It's up the inside again. The Ferrari, he just doesn't see. Joe hasn't got the grit to make a move right now, but he might have an opportunity now around the outside. No, yes, no. I thought for a second he was just going to go for it and lunge around the outside, but he's stuck here right now, and it's going to be frustrating for the Ferrari driver. He knows he's quicker. Surely he knows right now he can get onto these two and not pass them. I'm saying that H3 has got all the ARS in the world and a little bit more to battle with. So he's got all of it. And well, he did have all of it until he used it right now. But the Aston Martins, they're kind of holding each other up at the inside, don't mind. Goes the Aston Martin of H3 getting past. And now surely, now's the opportunity. Go on, Joe. Your opportunity comes.
Or never.
Now or never. Come on. Oh, doesn't want to do it. Come on, round the outside. Can he do it? Fight for it.
Superb.
There we go.
Well done, Joe. At the beginning of the lap, he was like the little nerdy kid who had his lunch money ripped from him by the Aston Martin drivers, but he's just earned £1 back, and now he's after the rest of his money in Hedvist, who is in 5th position. As now, interestingly, Bonnie has stayed out. It'd be interesting to see what tyres he chooses to go on at the end of this race now, because surely the further he goes, committing to another set of hards won't be so beneficial. Maybe he's going to look to do a soft stint, maybe with 5 laps to go or something like that. As definitely testing track limits there was Bonnie Fish. Adagio also having a very quiet race in 2nd position. I'm just going to quickly get the pit stops up. So Bonnie Fish and Adagio, Sir Quinniff and Max are the only drivers who are yet to make 2 stops, as Matthias gets past Ivor Bryn-Mike into the far chicanes on the back straight, and Matthias sets himself the task to chase down Welsh Benjamin ahead.
Yeah, certainly. Marshall 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. As in comes Bonnie then from the lead of this race to take what is going to be a very comfortable margin right now, I must say. What's that gap going to be? Was that over 8 seconds still? So he's done the job he needs to do, and that's going to be pretty much him to the end of the race. But it's H3, Joe, Mikey, and the Welsh Benjamin on the medium compound tyres. But remember, what we saw in the P40 and what from experience, these tyres, you'll get 6 laps out of them, and then you'll drop back. So if he wants to do anything, it needs to get a move on very quickly in this race, if there's any opportunity for him to come through. Further down the field, we've got Ivor behind Matthias, and I think we've got the battle here for Gwyneth, Rydog and Jess down for 9th, 10th and 11th.
Yes, if there's a potential late safety car here, Jess can be a massive winner. But even so, she's in a good position here to maybe salvage a top 6 finish. There are a few penalties ahead, and if these guys carry on the form that they're on at the moment and try and close down the gaggle of cars from third down to 8th, that is, then perhaps she can have a bit of redemption at the end of this race.
Yeah, I just noticed, by the way, Max came in for a pit stop, but has not changed his front wing, so he's kept the damage he's got from earlier. As in comes Adigo. Out comes Adigo now. And this should be pretty close here. It's going to be very close with the gaggle alongside as we come down to the straight. And let's see, the camera angle is going to show us, and eventually it will. And it's behind all 3 of them. We've got a little bit close there, down towards Tunnel 1, but all stays the same right now. Gwyneth now up to 8th. So now recovery drive from... Is it safe to say a catastrophic mistake on the start line? I think it's fair to say that was catastrophic off the start.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that at all, but he does have to pit again, so...
getting overtaken.
Yeah, that's as far as his recovery drive is going to go, unfortunately.
See, in fact, he's sticking with it. He's not going to put up on too much of a fight here. Around the outside, be brave stuff, and he does it. Around the outside goes the Mercedes, and now off the road into the gravel and is taking all sorts of dirt. There goes Jess, and surely all of a sudden here comes Adigo to make it free.
Oh no! Oh, I'm not sure whether he got that car stopped safely enough. I just missed it on the camera angle. But Jess has found herself behind Gwyneth here. She has been absolutely robbed.
Front left end plate's gone, so I think there was contact.
Yeah, Daggio is missing his front left end plate on that Williams. Yes, there it is. It is completely gone. So yes, there was contact as he smacked into Jess at the end of that DRS straight there. So that will not do his Williams the world of good. But he is on fresh medium tyres, so maybe that will come to his saviour, but a potential incident for the stewards to look at there.
Welsh Benjamin, he's finally caught up to the Ferrari, and we know the Ferrari seems to have been a little bit of a dropping back, as he, I was reading the chat, sorry, there, he has now dropped down to 5th position, as I was getting all the interviews up, instead of the gap to the leader. As we can see all the battling going on right there. So now up to 4th. Next target 3rd, then 2nd. I tell you what, there is still an opportunity for a 2nd position here for the Alpine driver. He needs to get the bit between his teeth. The championship leader, the man who has finished 2nd and 4th in the last 2 races, is currently 4th in this race and has the DRS on the Aston Martin. And you've got to wonder, turn number 2, it's going to be a real opportunity for him.
Yep, consistency is key in league racing, and Welsh Benjamin is showing why he is definitely leading the championship by 6 points as it stands, just biding his time. He knows he's got 6 racing laps to go to execute the 2 Aston Martins ahead of him. So, yes, it's very much job on for Welsh Benjamin. Bonnie Fish is just going to be a bit too far out of reach. He's in a league of his own. But we are definitely looking at another Alpine 1-2 here.
Yeah, it seems to be going that way, but there's still 5 and a bit laps to go. Still more trouble in this race, and Ross Benjamin hasn't made the inroads on this lap that he wants to. Remember, though, like I said, it's around about lap 6, so about lap 27, these tyres will start to degrade a lot more heavily, so he's got probably, what, another 1 or 2 laps of pure pace compared to the hard tyres before the hard start to pull away. So I think it might be, well, it might be third, but to be fair, though, to Benjamin, he doesn't really have to make the move right now if he doesn't want to. Obviously, he will want to make the move because, of course, he's got Joe who's behind. But with the 3 second, I think it's a 3 second time penalty still. Yes, it is. He can kind of afford if he wants to sit behind. Will he? I don't think so. But these racing drivers all have different mentalities of how they go attacking as we go through the field to see who is battling. We've got Hockney and Jess, the next real 2 cars together on the circuit battling. Jess, I thought for a second was going to look to the inside, didn't quite do it. Got their teammate of Mason as well. As do love Mason. I said it earlier, I have very fond and wholesome memories of Mason. As well as Colin as well. His first ever commentary was over his father, and he commentated cursed him into the wall, which was always the way of when you commentate with me. Someone will curse someone, and it will go wrong, and then we'll laugh about it later on as Max gets a 3 second time penalty as we're coming to the end of this race. And, well, you did mention about penalties, and around about lap 25 we start to see how things are going. And I will say there is a lot of penalties here. 3 for Mike and Joe, 6 for Mike, Matthias on 9, 3 for Rydog, 3 for Hockney, and 3 for Mason, Marcel, Crinip on 6th, and 3 for Max just a second ago as well. So a lot of penalties here. So if you've not got penalties, and of course we don't know what you're going to be like in terms of track limits, you get 3 strikes, and then I think it's the penalty, or is it 2 and then the penalty? It's one of the ways.
Yeah, it's on your third warning, you get the penalty, so you get 2 warnings, third time penalty.
Yep, so you got 2 strikes and then you get it. So we don't know how many times these guys have been off the road. But I tell you what, Benjamin right now is probably feeling of anyone here, as long as he doesn't get a penalty, which this corner is very easy to do, so let's not hold my breath here. No, I think he's got it through nice and gently. He is on for 3rd position. He just hasn't seemed to have got the pace, and these tyres, like we said, are going off. Lap 27, like I said, was the time it would hit kind of the cliff, and these guys are all on the, I'm going to find the tyres, there they are, on the hards. So it's going to be difficult.
I'm just quickly going through the race director now, and Welsh Benjamin does not have a track limits warning at all. So he is on a big fat 0 for track limits. So he has a few Joker cards to play. But he's in no position to be desperate to get into P3 at the moment. Mikey with 3 seconds ahead, and I think Hedvist in the Aston Martin may be just out of reach, but anything is possible in these closing stages.
Yes, as the wise Murray once said, anything is possible in Formula 1, and it usually is. Lap 27 of 29 here in the Australian Grand Prix, or for me it's lap 54, 54, 55 in this race, because I just commentated the one before, and my voice feels quite fine actually, so 10 points for voice control. Hockney, Jess and Mason still all together. I think is there an opportunity here for Jess down the straight as we're waiting to see what happens up front, and we'll have a look to see what's happening down here for the final couple of points. DRS, ERS, are we going to think about a move right around the outside then? Thinks about it, but it's always difficult. You have to have a lot more overspeed and a lot more overlap to make it there, but down here is an opportunity. And let's see, I'll pull to the inside. Like breaking up the inside goes Jess on Hockney. No, nearly. I've backed out of it there at the last second, so didn't quite do it right there. As we'll just quickly check here. The top, well, the 3rd, 4th and 5th again, all together. And it's just a little bit, it's one mistake and you're tumbling from potentially 3rd to 6th or 7th.
Oh, Mikey's gone deep there, and he's got Welsh Benjamin all over the back of him now for third. And maybe even Joey B could be getting a bit interested here to get ahead of Mikey after that mistake. But it's all just nullified itself now, coming down this long back straight. As Welsh Benjamin, again, he's just out of ERS, and well, he's got the same ERS as Mikey pretty much. Joey B has a little bit more in the tank, but he's also fighting the car behind as he runs a bit wide there, Joe, and has Ivor Bryn Mike behind him, but Ivor Bryn Mike does have the extra 3 seconds.
Benjamin, I thought of it for a second, didn't quite do it, Lo. These guys are getting a little bit close. I thought for a brief second that Welsh Benjamin was going to make the lunge there, and he had the car along the side, but backed out last lap.
Yes, maybe just thinking nothing silly. He's got a guaranteed podium as it stands at the moment. Doesn't need to do anything rash or make unnecessary contact, which will get him a slap on the wrist somewhere. But I think he is just very content to keep staying full for the moment. He's going to end up P3 at the end of this race, as Bonnie Fish is bringing this race to its closing stages.
Yeah, most certainly is, as Adigo and Rydog off the road there, down in towards turn number 1, but is rejoined safely just behind, as further down the field, I think Jess is coming for a... Nope, I think they just dropped back a little bit there, so I think they might have been running damage earlier on, but here, the race leader, and an absolute domination of a race, really, for them. 6.2, 6.3 in opening. Looks like Lars behind are going to hold its station. But Lawrence, do you want to finish this off?
Yes, so Hockenheim is going to almost certainly take the checkered flag around this Australian circuit. He is coming up to the 13th corner out of 14. So one more to go now around the last corner. The Alpine has been absolutely dominant from start to finish here. Bonnie Fish wins the Australian Grand Prix in P3 tier. An absolutely superb drive. Hegvist is going to come home in second in the Aston Martin. Mikey comes home in provisional third, but Welsh Benjamin gets promoted to third. Joey B in fifth. Ivor Bryn Mike is in sixth. Matthias comes home seventh. Rydog is going to come round the last corner, but he's going to be demoted behind Adagio as they cross the line. Adagio eighth, Rydog ninth. JR Mason comes home in 10th. Hockey Night comes home in 12th. Jessica comes home in P11 in the Red Bull. A race of what could have been for her. I am Marshall in 13th, and I believe that is the last of the points finishes here, as Sir Gwyneth is going to finish in a very lonely and disappointing 14th after that opening lap disaster for him. He does get the fastest lap. I think that's the fastest lap for the cars outside the top 10. I think we still do that here in One Hub. As Max, as Max is the last driver to finish the race. Yes, and that is your 15 finishers. Nobody DNF'd, impressively. We finished with all the cars.
Well, what this will mean is Welsh Benjamin will extend the championship lead with a second, a fourth, and a third. So yet to win a race, and still leads it. Adigo will drop down. I think Bonnie will be in P2 in the standings. It'll be pretty close between these two, I think, overall. Ivor will drop down. I think Jess a little bit going to be disappointed after that one. Second last week, 11th this week, and 10th in the first race as well. But it is the Alpines and the Aston Martins up the front, and oh, would an Aston Martin victory, an Alpine victory in real life be very nice to see after the struggles they've had. It'll be magical of an Aston Martin one, though, I will say. But we'll quickly go through your order so Cam doesn't murder me. Bonnie from H3, Welsh Benjamin, Vikey, Joe, Ivor, Matthias, Adigo, Rydog, Mason, Jess, Hockney, Marcel, Gwyneth, and Max at the back of the grid. And as I forgot to do in P40, but I'll type it later, is it One Hub? Was it a bit after it, wasn't it? What's the thing for driver of the day, Lawrence?
It's the. I had it in my head a second ago.
It's
And
gone for both of us.
It's the. Is it the? Apologies. Here we go. It is. The Sim Racing Setups Driver of the Day. Yes, I believe you nominate a driver with a question, and I do the same as well.
Ooh, I'm gonna nominate it to the Welsh Benjamin, and my question is gonna be: it was a close-quartered battle, a strategy that nearly didn't work. How did you find that first stop after dropping back through the field?
Yes, that is Welsh Benjamin, Evil Dragons. Nomination for driver of the day, and I'm going to go for Hegvist in the Aston Martin. My question is, did you think you had a sniff of the win after that first stint? You came out, you undercut Bonnie Fish excellently, and unfortunately Bonnie just pulled away. Do you think you had a chance to win, or was Bonnie just too fast for you on the day?
Indeed, so there is our driver of the days, and to round off the stream, I think Lawrence will do the sponsors.
Yep, I'll round off the sponsors for this P3 stream. So, Delta.app. This is for over 18s only. I do stress over 18s only. So all your investments in one app. Make smarter decisions like the world's top investors and track your journey to success with Delta. If you use the command !Delta in the Twitch chat, it will take you to a download link to the relevant mobile store, and you can download the app there. So please do go check it out. Next up, we have Next Level Racing. They sponsor the league by providing some amazing prizes each season. As I said earlier, nothing's been confirmed as of yet, but even so, we will get some good quality prizes for the drivers come at the end of the season. I am most certain of it. Next up, we have Sim Racing Setups. They provide a professional setup for F1 25, created by the top esports drivers. They offer dry, intermediate, and wet setups. There are also two types of dry setups, safe and esports, and they also provide strategy tips on the track map when to use ERS during qualifying. They sponsor the league by providing vouchers for the weekly Driver of the Day winners and the Driver of the Season winner. And any One Hub members can get 5% off their setups. Then we have Pure Sim Gear. They have been providing the league with socks and gloves for some time now, but if you go to their website and check them out, when you're going to check out, you can enter a discount code of OHR 10p, and you will get 10% off their racing socks and gloves. So please do go check them out. Then we have Vespertine. They've been partnered with us now for a few seasons. They have amazing merchandise such as t-shirts and whatnot. Please do go check them out. I've got a Vespertine t-shirt which I won too, and it's very good quality. Then finally, we have SimGrid. They run our seasons through their community and their platform. Yes, league racing would not be possible, but it also makes things so much easier. I'm sure league racing is possible, but being on SimGrid, it just makes it so much easier for us to run it through there. You can sign up through SimGrid, and also you can join the Delta.app One Hub Discord as well. So if you're new to this, watching this stream, please do go check us out. We have some fantastic league racing going on here. Yes, I believe that is everything. Do you have any parting comments, Evil Dragon?
I think I need to have a lay down, you know. I think my voice is it's actually feeling quite fine, actually, still. I'm not doing another one for now. I've done 3 comms this week. I've become One Hub Super Sub, I think, so far.
You've done brilliant today. I'd like to thank you for joining me in the comms box. You've definitely made my life so much easier.
Yes.
So yes, I thank you for stepping in and
it's been a pleasure.
rising to the challenge.
Well, I shall end the stream because I think the next tier has got to go in just a few moments. So don't forget to join the P3, P2 tier, so I say, joining us with Ivan and Mike at a few moments' time, and then later on, I think it's at 7:30 for the P1 with Jamie and Jess. So, I have been Evil, Lawrence has been Lawrence, and we shall see you next week. Well, I don't know if I will be next week for P3, because I think you've got a commentator next week. But if not, I shall join you yet again, because I enjoy it. But take care from me, and see you soon.